mean, the guy that they got that's the main player in this deal is the Reds' 9th-ranked prospect. Oh, that's all well and good. He's hitting like 262 in A-ball. His on-base percentage is 390, which says, okay, he knows how to draw a lot of walks. Yes, in A-ball, where you're facing guys who are barely out of high school who might not be able to find home plate. I just don't look at that as a skill that's going to profile necessarily when he moves up in competition. So to me, this is more shedding salary than anything. I guess good on Ben Cherington that he got a reasonably highly rated prospect. But, Rich, why do we even want this guy making any moves of consequence? I continue to struggle, and I wonder how many of the people listening or watching this right now feel the same way. I just struggle with being able to evaluate any trade he makes without an overwhelming amount of cynicism, because I'm so convinced that he's not the right guy for this job anymore.
And looking back a few years ago, I thought the Pirates won that contract with Ke'Bryan Hayes. And now they're trying to dump his salary. I mean, the guy's batting .230. I mean, you had to do something that maybe a change of scenery will help. His OPS is in the 5s. I mean, I think he's batting .130
He's the worst offensive third baseman in baseball. I mean, you can say it very concisely. And he's one of the worst offensive players in baseball. And my massive fear for this is he's going to the second most hitter-friendly park probably in all of the major leagues behind Coors Field. I mean, Great American is a total bandbox of a place, especially to left field. It would just horrify me if he goes to the Reds. He's got Terry Francona. He's got a fresh start. Presumably his family members won't be griping and belly aching on Twitter about the way the team treats him. And then he ends up unlocking something in his swing. And you say, oh, Chris, that sounds so fatalistic. What's Quinn Priester in his last 10 starts? 8-0 with a 2.30 ERA. I mean, we've seen it happen before. The Pirates trade a guy away. It took another trade in Priester's case, but now the Brewers have turned him into a stud.
And Nick York is stuck in the minors. I thought the Pirates would have won that
Nick York strikes out once a game. Nick York strikes out once a game in AAA. That doesn't exactly bode well for his future.
Let's go to Chuck in Uniontown. How you doing, Chuck?
Good evening, fellas, and thank you. Sorry I missed both of you last week. Would like to have met you, but I do my radar. I'm not the least bit thrilled by this trade at all with the Reds. I mean, to me, it looks like it's going to be another minus trade for us because, you know, never mind what Ke'Bryan Hayes hits. He's, you know, one of the best defensive third basemen in baseball history, and you mean to tell me you can only get a relief pitcher and a 9th prospect out of the Reds organization for that? It just, like you said, Maul, it seems like it's a salary dump.
100% it's a salary dump, I think.
It's definitely a salary dump. And, like, I'll say this, Chuck. I mean, being the closest thing to Brooks Robinson maybe in the modern day, or like a Scott Rowland in his prime, or Nolan Arenado more recently, doesn't go as far as it used to. Like, it's not a shortstop or a second baseman or a center fielder or a catcher who's elite defensively. It's not as valued. And the other thing I would say just about this broadly is, if you're from the Pirates' perspective, you would say Jared Triolo steps in maybe or something like that. And Jared Triolo is a guy who won a Gold Glove as a utility man. And they'd figure, okay, he's a lot cheaper. The bat's just as bad, so we're used to that already. And that's how they might do this. Richie, the question that and the Pirates have earned people's cynicism here is, if you're saving $7 million by shipping this contract out, and I know the reliever they bring in is worth $12 million this year, but his contract's up after this year. If you're shipping out a guy who was due a total of $30 million over the next 4 years, what are you going to do with the $7 million in savings each of the next 2 years and the $8 million in savings to make your roster better? And if people are listening to me say that and saying to themselves, probably nothing, Mulsey, I understand your cynicism, and I tend to agree with it.
Yeah, and they might have more money that they're going to save if they ship Bednar and Keller out tomorrow. Let's go out to Kirk and Manor. How you doing, Kirk?
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Hey, I'm just running something past you. I mean, they dumped another salary. He was a great defensive player, limited offensively, obviously. But, I mean, when's this crap going to end? That's
They need offense. They need to get another guy back at some point. They need to get a major leaguer back. This is just a weird situation, Chris, and I know we've talked about it for a couple weeks. You're having Ben Cherington, and we don't even know his future. I mean, he sold his house, but they said as he was just moving. I mean, you don't just sell your house, right? There's something going on here. I don't think he's going to be back, but maybe he is. Who knows?
If he's allowed to deal Keller, then I think that's a sign that's a better sign for him that he's going to be back, because that's a major move. And if you were going to fire him, you wouldn't want him to pull the trigger on that, especially if the goal in that deal is to get a major league bat, because as annoying as this is, your chances of doing that are a lot better in the offseason when a team might be more inclined to make a baseball trade. If you're trading him to a contender, right now, Rich, how many teams that are in contention are going to want to give you a viable bat from their major league lineup for a starting pitcher? Like, obviously the starting pitcher is important, but a bat that the Pirates would actually want in return, I just think most teams that would be contending would be very loath to part with.
You know, I would take their top prospect in the AAA organization, something like that. You know, one guy I would deal right now, and you learn from your past here, is David Bednar. You know, they could have traded him a couple years ago. They didn't when his stock was high. Now his stock couldn't be any higher. I would try to trade him. And Ryan just tweeted us, and he said, should the Pirates just keep Bednar if they are going to get a low-level prospect? I don't think you would get a low-level prospect for David Bednar. I think you would get something better for someone like him.
Noah Hiles was on with us and said he thinks that their internal ask for him would be one of a team's top 5 prospects. That's fine by me. I mean, relief pitchers are ultra valuable. Teams now look to shorten these postseason games as much as they do look for starters that can give them 6 innings or more. He should be valuable. Yeah. He should be somebody that fetches a decent return. He should be somebody that you ask for a lot for. He should also be somebody that you're motivated to trade one way or the other. And you can't say that publicly because that'll lower the ask, or that'll lower the offers that you get, But they should not keep him another year. It just would be the height of pointlessness and head-scratching roster management. Kudos to David Bednar that he has gone down to the minors in the beginning of this year and come back a changed pitcher and a better pitcher and the guy that we got used to seeing. But that should be something that the Pirates are looking at and saying, okay, this man is an asset. This man is not part of the next winning Pirates team.
Let's go out to Jerry in Franklin. How you doing, Jerry?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Hey, I was thinking about Ke'Bryan Hayes, and from what I've been watching, when he swings, it's mostly like an arm swing. I think his back, I don't think he's able to turn on the ball anymore. And I thought getting rid of him was probably a good move, because I think we've got a broken toy there. I just don't think he's ever going to be fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I thought they needed to move him. I would like to see, I mean, I want to see them win with Keller, but I think you have to move him too, move Bednar, try to get some pieces that are going to make their major league debut next year, you know, that are close to being major league ready.
On the Hayes front, if caller right there is suggesting that long, loopy, like circular swing is him having a bad back, I know he's had the bad back or the bulky back for a while, but he has swung like that for pretty much his entire career. I just think it's a guy who needs a wholesale change in how he actually tries to hit.
All right, we got to take a break. Back in a couple minutes.